Hi there, this is the Rudenko's Disc Super Spectrum Pocket Puzzle, or basically a really cool puzzle. Now this is by the company of Brainwright, and if I were to bring the camera up, you'd be able to tell. There we go, Brainwright. So if I were to angle it up like this, you can see their logo there, really nice shapes. It's for everyone, ages 8 and up, so not everyone. Sorry young people, you just can't play this. And one player. So, only one person can purchase this and use it. That is a nice thing. That person will be me. Now, as you can see, I got it for $14.99. And actually, it was on discount because the store was closing out. Ooh, holidays. Holiday stores, don't you love them? No, not really. I don't like it when they leave. Anyway, this is a really interesting puzzle, but we'll get into it after we look at the box. I mean, the back. Rudenko's disc is almost the same on the top. As you can see, you start here, as mentioned by start, and then you do some strange sliding things, move the dots around the track, and you finish. So, if you look carefully on this, you might say, hey, it's not that bad. You just slide this entire track in here, and then back that over there. Sort of like a trains puzzle, the world's simplest. But yes, there is a trick to it. So, let's read what it says. Take your mind for a spin with Rudenko's disc. Test your spatial thinking by moving all of the colored dots from one section to another. The challenge is that the dots must line up in order, but don't fit in every space. Figure out the pattern and round up the solution. I see what you did there. I just noticed. Rudenko's disc. Trademark. The elusive trademark. Well, actually not the elusive. Whatever the opposite of elusive is. If you know the opposite of that, please let me know. I want to use that word as well. But for now, let's just open this up. Now, it's a very nice, high-quality blister pack. I cannot get a blister from it, which is great because I don't want the blister pack to live up to its name. But of course, I can get a serious overhang if I try to get this out with my fingernail. There we go. And this is the second time the puzzle got to have contact with the air. There you go. As you can see, the case is a bit scratched up, which is strange because it was in a blister pack. But it's quite reflective. And if I angle it perfectly, you won't ever see my face. Haha. But as you can see, it says Rudenko's disc. Sony. Oh, that's my camera. And it says Brainwright on the bottom. That's awesome. Two of my favorite companies, Brainwright and Gamewright. Brainwright for curious minds, and some number that is very useful to me. That is sarcasm for you. Anyway, as you can see right here, there's a nice little tab. Oh, not a tab, it's just a stop for the case. As you can see, there's nothing there. But it helps with lining up. So you just lift that up. And you saw how this part was the top there. You can actually remove this because of the design, flip it around, and place it on again. And it will not complain. Yeah. Nice glances of my face. So, once we get that off, you can see a very nice disc. It has a slightly sturdy feel. Doesn't feel too light. But it looks like it will not become a big bulky thing in your pocket. But let's see how this works. So we have different discs here. And you can hear them snap into place. Strangely enough. So this would work on a traveling area, or if you're stuck on the part, you can save it and it will not move around in your pocket, and the discs won't just randomly fly away. Now, yes, I was saying that you might want to just get this whole track as one chain and back them up over here, and then bring them across and over there, and all the colors will be perfect, right? Well, wrong, because when you try to move this circle here, it stops there. and it clicks into place. And if you try going over here, it stops and clicks into place as well. So that is a bit strange, don't you think? Well, let's see what happens with the orange. If you try to slide it up there, it goes past the red, snaps into the orange position, and then can't go any farther. Strange. Well, what if we got the orange back, the red back there? We get the orange and then bring it there. It's stuck there too. Yes, so you can get the pattern. So let's see, you bring the red there, and you can go past the orange and arrive at the yellow. So, and that's it. So this is a very interesting puzzle, and if you analyze it carefully, this is actually very similar to or bears even closer resemblance to the Towers of Hanoi. Yes, this is the Towers of Hanoi, compressed into a very small disc and a nice little case, if you've forgotten about it already. Yep, you can sort of see it. And yeah, that is that. So what do I think about this? Well, it doesn't feel cheap. Like, if you look at other puzzles by Brainwright, it's actually a very high-priced puzzles, but it looks to be very good quality plastic and well designed, well made, no sharp edges, shall I say, yet very accurate and non-lazy sculpting. But that's all I can say through the packaging, because this is my first Brainwright puzzle, and I'm quite interested to see what it comes of the company. But for now, since I know the Towers of Hanoi, let's see how much I can go through it. One thing I might want to add is that I believe the original Towers of Hanoi puzzle goes up to only 5 levels. This goes up to 7. So I don't know if that's lucky or unlucky. So let's see. I probably will just jump into time-lapse, as this might take a while. And here we go. Now it's solved. Well, I guess the thing to make it look nicer is to bring it back to the center. But that'll take another 5 minutes. And some. So, what do I think about this? Well, overall, I think this looks like a very professional puzzle, and I say looks. And you cannot see any screws whatsoever in this case here. No screws. All I can see is a very small line here, and this top part might move around a little bit. But it's really hard to tell how they put this together. Now, maybe one imperfection or two. The most apparent one is right here. So as you can see, there are different spots that are painted on. It's not stickers, they're paint. But there's one imperfection here with the orange, which is a bit distracting. So that's 1 point off, I guess, though I'm not really going to give them a score. Another problem is the yellow disc. Now let me just show you what's the problem here. As you can see, this is supposed to be able to go all the way down to yellow. But if I do that, it stops promptly at orange, and then you really have to force it to get into yellow for some reason. So there's a problem with the tensioning. The other buttons or discs for the disc seems fine. Like they slide freely until their spot and they click into place. But the yellow piece, for some reason, wherever it goes, has to be forced into position. So that really impacts with the play value and makes it harder to enjoy this puzzle. It's sort of akin to a Rubik's Cube or a dollar store Rubik's Cube being hard to turn. So that's one problem. Another problem is their design choice. I think the circle disc thing is okay. I always have trouble keeping track when we get to 7 bits. As you've seen, I've been counting different paths that you need to take and where the red piece need to start going to begin the whole chain reaction. But one big problem is the idea of having a clicking mechanism. Now, I've said that this is apparently designed for travel, and you can use it anywhere. And you can physically do that, but the only problem is the noise. If I were to show you right now, or maybe I'll do it right now, I'm just gonna get the first 4 into the center disc. And you will hear how much noise that comes out from this, and you can get an idea of how other people will react to this. Here we go. That has to go there. Therefore, this has to go there, this has to go there, and this has to go here. Notice the grinding of the yellow again. So as you can hear, there are lots of clicking, and imagine 5 minutes of non-stop clicking for just one solve. People around you would get so annoyed that violence may ensue, or other problems might occur, and you might actually get this confiscated. So ideally, you need to only use it at home or in a very noisy place like a metro or something. And even then, people at close range would get really annoyed or just get really confused about the color and the abstract look of the puzzle. Yes, so those are my logistical complaints, I guess. As you've also seen, this gets really repetitive and it's hard to keep track of that, but that's good. That makes it a puzzle. Hard to keep track of pieces, and you feel accomplished when you're done. The only other problem is with the if you do it too often, your fingers will get really numb, or at least sore. Because when you are constantly forcing a puzzle to click into place with your thumb, eventually it's going to take a toll on your hands. So that's a problem. So my thumbs will not last the whole time if I were to do this too often. So that's why Rubik's Cube or a speed cube would be much more easier to use than this. So I bet this would at most times just sit on my desk as a nice display piece. But then again, that's just me. There are 2 other things I'd like to note, and that is the puzzle I was referring to earlier is not the pachinko puzzle, but rather the Panex puzzle, which is basically pane with an X after it. That is Panex. The Panex puzzle, or Panex puzzle, depending where you're from. Anyway, it has a very similar mechanism in the way that the pieces can get stuck and not go any farther than the position they're on. But it also has two series of pieces, and it's one solid color and a second solid color. So that way it makes it much more complicated, and you don't have this like cheat sheet where it shows you how far pieces will go down. So it'll be much more difficult to keep track of. So this is sort of the easy version of that. Secondly, just like a smart calculator or other thing that is specially designed and molded, you can place the case on the bottom, just like so. So you won't lose the lid. Anyway, this has been the Rudenko's disc puzzle. Thanks for watching.